Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome to Falling Frontier. The trailer for this game just dropped yesterday and it has me really excited. So we're going to go over it with a fine-tooth comb and have a look at what we can see and learn from this particular trailer. Enjoy.
Is it confirmed?
Yes, it's confirmed. Fourth Fleet is engaged in operations around Jupiter.
Well, who else is there?
The Caligula and Richmond.
Okay, patch me in.
Caligula, this is Comsat Fleet, over. This is Caligula, roger, over. This is Comsat Fleet. Thea holds contact with probable Martian task force in vicinity of Saturn. Coordinates 4383, Mark 231, course unknown, speed unknown, strength unknown. Caligula and Richmond are ordered to divert from rendezvous with Erebus immediately and make best speed to intercept and destroy enemy task force. Formal orders to follow, over. This is Caligula, roger. Time to intercept 1 hour. Out. All hands, we have been tasked with a hunter-kill order. ETA 1 hour. Prepare for an emergency turn and burn.
Alright, so this first bit, I think it is really well done. The sort of briefing style that you're giving to your ships, or that you are being given, depending on what you'd like your role to be. Falling Frontier is a real-time strategy game, so I doubt you'll actually have time to manage these ships in such detail every single time. Now what you're looking at are two ships, the Caligula and the Richmond, two destroyers by the looks of it, and they're both tasked with intercepting some unknown threat. We know that there is a ship out there, and we don't exactly know about their strength, we don't know about their capabilities, but just go out there and have at them. Now, the visuals look stunning. Absolutely beautiful. You can even, in this bit, start to see the turrets move, which I think's a little weird, because they're still an hour out, supposedly. But you see some, I think, de-icing going on there. Like, the turrets might have been frozen in place, and now they're able to rotate. Definitely getting Expanse vibes from this game. Definitely seeing some parallels to Nebulous Fleet Command. Although Nebulous is more of an RTT, real-time tactical, than an RTS, because it doesn't involve base building and setting up. In this particular trailer you won't exactly see base building, but you will see the tactical element of managing these battles. Now they're off to the burn, off to the enemy, and we're going to look at the next part of the trailer.
Countermeasures away. PDC's online and engaged. Tubes loaded. Send target data. Sending package. Good hit, good hit.
So, we're moving into the actual in-game footage part. Now, the moment that these guys jump into combat, I'm not sure if they've arrived just now, but I suspect they haven't, because they already got their bows towards the target. The moment that they arrive, they immediately come under fire, and they automatically seem to pop decoys, as the projectiles or things coming at the sides of the ship. Both of these ships, both the Caligula as well as the Richmond, seem to be armed with VLS. Vertical launch systems, which are an interesting turn of phrase. I think that seeing as there's, as far as I know, no real up and down, left and right in space, is VLS really a thing? I mean, aren't they just like missile tubes? For a player perspective, I get it, and I gotta say, these things look absolutely stunning. Not only that, but note how every once in a while, here, the game goes into a slow-mo mode. Now, the target here is firing a lot of point defense cannons, PDCs, as they call them in-game, and definitely in the Expanse. And those things are taking out these missiles almost as quickly as they get launched, or definitely when they're getting into range. A lot of counterattack is happening. There's another salvo going back in. And one thing I thought was a little weird is that there's no missiles or no counter-missile missiles. As for the UI, you can see a bunch of stats over here. I think the shield might be hit points. The red icon, the fire icon, I suspect is fuel. These guys just undertook a burn in order to get here. I'm not sure what the 4000 is, but it could be food, I guess. And then you got ammo. Now, seeing this is a dev build, there was probably no ammo usage, because these ships have already been shooting at each other a bit, and there is currently no ammo usage whatsoever, at least not for Caligula. As for the rest, a couple of buttons, something that seems to be engineering or tech or both. And then when it comes to the buttons that says T, ROE, F for docking, J for silent running, moving, jumping, and stopping, and setting the target. Pretty straightforward. The ROE, rules of engagement, probably allow the ship to fire their missiles all by themselves, as well as intercept enemy missiles as they're coming at them. Silent running, I suspect, is going to be useful, not so much in this particular setting, as you're already going into a hot battle, but maybe more so in an area where you're trying to sneak up on an enemy. And by having a silent running feature, you're minimizing your, I suspect, heat signature, thereby getting closer to the enemy and getting the jump on them. Moving, jumping, and stopping. While moving, you can see them doing. Every once in a while, the player who actually recorded this, I think the dev, sets a waypoint for the ships. Jumping, I suspect, is more of a strategic measure where you want to have these guys go over to a different sector of the battlefield, not so much inside of a battle. And stopping is fairly obvious.
Tracking incoming missiles. Track updated, rotating now. Destroyer reporting. Tubes loaded. Send target data. Missiles away.
Now, a beautiful bit of action as these guys are going at each other. Something that has me a little confused is the Sea-Wiz that you seem to be able to target manually, both on the Caligula and the Richmond. Why would you want to? Are there particular missiles that are more dangerous than others? Is that maybe it? Anyway, something else that has already been pointed out as well in Steam discussions is why these ships are on the same plane. From a gameplay perspective, I get it, but if you've been playing something like Nebulous Fleet Command, you know how 3D space is going to massively impact the battlefield.
Friendly ship down, tracking escape pods. Sending coordinates to command. Destroyer reporting. Reading assistant. Now tracking incoming missiles. PDCs are fully engaged. Confirmed. Engaging new target.
Now, remember that whole 2D plane situation? The Caligula, that's the far right ship, just fired a shell towards the target, instead hitting the Richmond. And I'm not sure if that was the last straw for the Richmond, but it definitely appeared to have killed her off. So, yeah, that's a friendly fire incident right there. And that is the end of the Richmond. Now watch how the Caligula just gets thrown around in a burn like that. It's a beautiful bit of a maneuver. Something that is definitely a factor in this game is positioning, because you can see that the bow turrets of the target are no longer able to engage the Caligula. Something that I've also noted is that the Caligula seems to not take any kind of damage from these events. Sure enough, not all missiles were intercepted, and sure enough, not all shells were able to get dodged, but the Caligula still has full health.
Tubes loaded. Send target data. Sending package.
Something that's not quite clear to me from the footage that I'm looking at is what is the cycle time on the VLS? Because they seem to be ready basically every single time he clicks on it. There we go, the forward VLS launching, the rear VLS launching. When do these things cycle? When do you see that they're ready? Maybe you guys can point it out down below in the comments, because I don't see it. And maybe this is something that hasn't been programmed yet. Now, speaking of the missiles attacking missiles, maybe it's so that the Caligula doesn't have any interceptor missiles aboard. Maybe she just has a purely offensive set of weapons, and she's just built that way. Because in the full version of Falling Frontier, you'll be able to customize your ships. So you might have, let's say, a destroyer that's sheerly capable of going at the enemy with a bunch of attacking missiles, and potentially a secondary destroyer, which is dealing with maybe incoming missiles. Not very much on the primary armament, but a lot on the PDCs, so the point defense cannons, as well as missiles intercepting missiles. I don't know, I'm just spitballing here. This is a potential situation that you might find yourself in, but of course, you'll happen to have those ships together all the time. Now, these guys are almost done fighting each other. There's another salvo coming in, and the Caligula has finally seemingly taken some damage. She has lost a few of her hit points, but considering the situation, it doesn't seem that bad. Now, I really like this zooming out bit. This action just takes part in Iapetus, which is a moon of Saturn, or rather, in orbit of it. And it just shows you the immense plane that you're fighting at. Just the immense scale that these battles will take part on. This is also likely to mean that you cannot manage every single battle, because you'll be distracted building your base, you'll be distracted managing your logistics, managing your officers, getting new ship construction underway. So there's a lot going on, and I hope that all the eye candy that we just saw is not going to get lost in the sheer mix of everything that you need to do. That it won't be just an attack order for the ship and like, go at it and let me know whether you survive or not. Hopefully, that's not going to be the case, and hopefully we'll be able to manage these ships in real time as they're going into battle. Because I would love to do that. So that brings me to the question, when can we play this? Well, you can wishlist it now, but when you'll be able to play it, I don't know. The game was originally slated for 2021, I think, then 2022, now 2023, and we're already halfway through 2023. I'm very much hoping that the game is going to be ready this year, but I don't want them to rush this. I do not want another or half-assed early access title that we're just going to go, oh, nice game, and then you actually play it and you go, oh crap, but half is missing. I would rather actually have a fully delivered game that just gets patched, it gets improved, mod support added if it's not already native, and that we can just keep playing this over and over and over again. Because imagine all the mods and all the various space series that you could cover with this. Star Trek, Star Wars, you got Babylon 5, you got The Expanse. You can do so much with this game. So I have a lot of really high hopes for it. Now, if you haven't already wishlisted it, I would recommend that you do so. Whether it comes out this year or not, at least if not, we'll have something else to look forward to next year. Let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the trailer. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts on it. And if you have something to add, by all means, let me know down below in the comments. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon for another video.